Today we're going to show you how to make these journals. They're really great. This one here, as you can see, we've made for our Italy trip, and we have some photos and some pages to write on. We've only just started embellishing this, but we're going to show you how to make these envelopes and things to make a journal look really great. We've got some little tags here and as well, dividers. So everything just looks wonderful. You've got pages here to write on. You do your daily trip. As I say, we've just started this one. But they're great because you can individualise them for a special occasion, and they're just nice and neat to even give as a gift. And this is one that we've just cut the pages, and we're going to show you how to do all of this and put it together. And this one's going to be for our our Paris trip. So let's get started.
So this is what you're going to need. Your Brother ScanNCut, obviously. You're going to need some scrapbooking paper of different types. Firstly, some reversible cardstock. So we've got different thicknesses here. You want a fairly thick one for your cover, and you can have thinner ones for dividers and things like that. But see, these are all reversible types. So you want some of those. Then you want some just general scrapbooking paper. So we're going with a Paris theme here. So you can see we've got different Paris styles and pinks. So these aren't reversible. And then you want some, because this is a journal, obviously you're going to be wanting to write in it. So you want some gridded lined paper, like this sort of thing, anything with lines. So just check out your stash. See what you've got. I've got all different types there. Okay, you will need a paper trimmer or a pair of scissors if you don't have one of these, but these are great for cutting perfectly. You're going to need a hole punch, and that is to put the holes in the side here. So whatever you might have, these are only a couple bucks. We paid $2.50 or something here. You will need some album rings. We've used these. So the smaller type, but if you want to make a thicker album, you could use the thicker rings here. But if you don't have these, you can also use some, we've got this hemp cord here, or some of this rat tail cord, anything like this that you can use to tie it up. But we just found that the album rings are a lot neater and tidier. Okay, so that's everything, so we'll get started now. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to make this shape. As you can see in the original here, we've used it. We were going to use it as the cover, but we ended up using it as the first sort of page there. So I'll show you how to do that. Now you will need to use the Brother ScanNCut Canvas software for this, but we need to get the pattern from the Brother onto a thumb drive first to get it onto the Canvas software. So I'm going to go over here to pattern. Actually, I'll put this in first. So come around to the side here. Pop that into the side, like that. Okay, I'm going to click on pattern, and this one here, and this one, the frames one down the bottom here. And the one we want is this one, so it's on the second lot of patterns. It's this one up here. Okay, we don't need to do anything to it. I'm just going to go OK. Okay, set, and then I'm going to save it. And I'm going to save it to that thumb drive I just put in there, which is this one. And there you go. So that's saved onto that USB thumb drive. So I'll go OK. And I can take that out of the side now. And now I can pop that into my computer and load it up into Canvas. So I'll show you how to do that now. Okay, now I've got my pattern saved on my thumb drive. So to access that now, I've put the thumb drive into the back of my computer in the USB port. So I'm going to go to Project now up here and click on Import SVG DXF FCM file. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to choose File, click this button here, and find my thumb drive, which is this one here, and click on that. And you can see here it is here. This is the little pattern that I transferred from the Brother ScanNCut. So I'll click on that and open. And you see it shows up here. And I'll go OK. Okay, and there it is there. Right, so I want to rotate it first, so I'm just going to click on it and hold down the shift key while I come up to this little green button and turn it round. Okay, and let it go. And then I'm going to get the sizing. So I'm going to make this a 8.5 height here. So 8.5. Okay. And now what we want to do is we want to make a straight line down here. So we can put this into our journal. So I'm going to get a rectangle from here. I'm going to rotate this one as well. So I press the shift key and rotate again. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, a little bit taller. So I'm going to make this 9. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to line it up. Doesn't matter how wide this is. All we're using it is to subtract some of this pattern away. So let's just line it up. I'm going to line it up with just the points here, these points here. So just line it up like that. And then I'm going to highlight the two by pressing the shift key. One's already highlighted, so I'm going to press the shift key and click on the second one. And then come up here to the subtract button here and click on that. And there you go. So that's the first page done. So now if you want to save it now to get it back onto your Brother ScanNCut, you give it a name up here. So I've got journal cover, and then you click on download. Click on download, and then you click on this one. Depending on your computer, as a Mac user, I just normally click on that. If you're a Windows user, you might right click, and you'll get different options here to save to your computer. So once you've done that, you can transfer it onto a USB and pop it back into your Brother ScanNCut, and you'll be able to print that out.
So now we're going to show you how to cut your journaling pages, and these are the ones where you want to do lots of text. So you just want things with grid lines or just lines that you can write on. We've made ours to fit in 3 of the rings, but you can make yours as large as you like. We made ours 6 by 4. And what we've done is throughout the journal we've put some of them in the top 3 rings, and then over here we've put them in the bottom 3 rings just to add a bit of interest. So what you're going to need is some of your papers that have got grid lines like this, or stripy lines. And you often get pages like this where they have a variety of different things, and you can actually just select any of these. Here's some with some dates on, but if you just want notes, well, you just cut that. So any of these will make a nice addition to your journal that way, so that you can write on it. And you can leave these little pieces here that will add a little bit of interest. So as I said, what we did is we cut ours 4 by 6. I'm going to do that now with this first one. So I just line it up on my cutter at the 4 inches. Aren't these wonderful, these cutting machines? Just make everything so easy. Line the next lot up with the 6 inches. And cut through. There you go. So I now have 2 pieces here that I can use in my journaling book for writing on. And you can see we'll put the holes in and they'll just sit at either end. But as we said before, you can actually make them full width if you want. It's all up to you and how you want your journal to look. And we're going to show you how to make the pocket pages. As you can see here, we've used some double-sided card, and then we've cut this so that it folds back and creates a pocket. And then we've just embellished it with some little bits and pieces that we have. Now these are ideal, these little pocket pages, because you can pop tickets, and I've got a bookmark here. So to show you a couple of examples. Here's another one. Again, we've just embellished it with a little bit of decoration there. Double-sided card. Got our pocket. You pop things in. It just means you can put all these little extra bits and pieces that you normally would have stuck away in a drawer somewhere. And here's another version. We've used something with just a plain backing and a nice stripe on the front.
To create the pocket card, we want to start with the basic shapes here. So you click on that. And the shape we want is the one down here, this one here. So click on that. brings it over here. Now we want to change the size, so make sure it's highlighted by clicking on it and come up to the Properties tab here. And we want to change this to 7 by 10, so we want to uncheck this one first. And then we'll type in 7 in the first field and 10 in this one here. Okay, that's our sizing's done now. Now we want to create a tab over here, because what we want to do is fold this in half over here to create the pocket. So to create the tab, we double click on this shape here. So we double click and see how that gives us all the little nodes now. Now we want to add a node here, so we want this line to be highlighted. At the moment this one's highlighted. To get this one highlighted, I just click on this one here. And there we go. And we can come up here and add a node by clicking the plus button here. Right, once that's done, you drag this out a little bit. It doesn't have to be too far, just drag it out a little. Now we want to add another node here and another node here. So this one's already highlighted, so I'm going to come up and click the plus button, and that's added another node. So I'm going to drag that out now to just line up with the other one there. Out there. This doesn't have to be perfect because you won't see this tab, but it just has to be a tab. So that's what we're after. Now I want this line to be highlighted because I want to add another tab there, node there, so it's highlighted. And I'll come up here and there, click that one, and then drag that out to line up. Okay, so you try and get it straight if you can, but again, it doesn't matter too much. That's pretty good. All right, so whoops. So that's done. Now we want to add another tab down here. This will also allow us to glue all this. So this tab, when we fold this one over, this one's going to glue here, and when we fold this one, it's going to sort of fold under and glue over here. So we want to create a tab that comes from here across to here. So we want to double click again to get the nodes showing, and we want to add the first node on this bottom line here. So I'll highlight that one, click the plus. And then I want to add a node in the middle of this line here. So click on this one, it's highlighted, and then I'll add a node. And this is one I can drag down now, so drag that down a bit. Now this one's already highlighted, which is great because I want to add a node here and a node here. So while this is highlighted, I'm going to click the plus and bring that down so it lines up with the other one. And same over this side, I want another node here. Click on that one to highlight the line, add the node, and drag it down. Whoops, there we go. It's pretty good, a little bit crooked, but again, take your time with it at home. I'm just rushing through here to get the video done. All right, so there are our tabs. Now we want the scoring lines in. So I'm going to add a scoring line down here, one across here, and one up here. So allow us to fold all this up. So the first one I'll add is down here. So I'll come up to the path tool, click on that. And then we want to create the line coming down, so I'll probably zoom in a little. Okay, and click there. And then you click once and then just let your mouse go and you'll see you'll have this line here. And then come down quite close to the bottom. You don't want to overlap and you don't want to be on the line, you just want to be above it. Click once again. And then if you don't click again, what you're going to get is this sort of thing. So you need to click on that button, on that little blue circle there again. So you click twice and that finishes it up there. While it's highlighted, come up to the Properties tab here and you've got this dash pattern here. So the one I like for this one, it will be that one there. Okay, so that first one's done there. Now we want a scoring line down here. So do exactly the same thing. I come up to the Path tool, click on that. Come over here, click once about there, come down, click again about there, and then click one more time to seal it in. It's highlighted, so I can come up to Show Properties, select my scoring line again, so that one's done. And then I want another line along here. So path again, click about there, come along, click there, and click it one more time to seal it. Get the dash pattern, go with that one, and that's done. You can see mine's a little bit crooked here, but again, if you're at home, you take your time getting that a little bit straight. But even being crooked like that, because you won't see this tab, it's going to be folded over and folded in, it really won't affect it in any way. So it's fine if you're a little bit crooked. Okay, so that's done. So we basically want to group this all together now. So I just click here, make sure you click down in the corner here, might be better. Drag to select everything. Everything's selected. Right click and go group. Alright, so now I can move that around and that's ready to go. So I can now transfer that over to my Brother ScanNCut. Give yourself a project title up here. Click download. You'll be able to download it to your thumb drive so that you can get it onto your Brother ScanNCut and you'll be able to cut this out. So we'll show you how that looks now. This is what the card will look once you've cut it out. So you'll have this shape, and what you want to do, you've got your scoring lines here, here and here. So that first scoring line will fold it that way, and these other ones will tuck under. So you fold them up, one there like that and one like that. And this is where you put your glue. Put your glue on here, and then you'll be able to fold that over and it will glue down like that and create the pocket. So now you have that pocket shape there. Now I'm just going to show you how to create the dividers. So you can play with this as much as you like. This is just a couple techniques that'll help you get going, and you'll be able to create whatever you like. So we'll start with a rectangle here, or a square. Doesn't matter what you choose here, because what we're going to do is come up here and change the size anyway. So this is highlighted now. So I'm going to come up to the properties tab here and click that. And I'm going to uncheck this one here. And I'm going to change the height to 7. That's the height we use for those dividers, but again, this is your journal. You can create it any way you like, any size you like, but we used a 7 height. And I'll just change the width here to about a 2.5. And again, width-wise, you can change it to how wide or thin you like these dividers to be. Okay, so that's my basic shape there. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click this button here and come to the borders options here. And I'll go with the one I created, one of the ones we created in the journal. That was this one here. Now I'm going to rotate this by holding my mouse over here and clicking, and also holding the shift key at the same time, so I can just turn it like that. Okay, now I want this to be the height, the same height, a size 7. So I'm going to come over here to this properties again, and I want the maintain aspect ratio checked again. So click on that one, and we want to change the height now. This will be this one here, to 7. Okay, close that. Now because it's the same height, I can bring this over here now and line them up. Now we're going to make sure they're lined up perfectly. The first one's already highlighted, so I'm going to press the shift key and click the second one so that everything's highlighted. Then I'm going to come up to edit, align, and I'm going to go middle, and that will just align it all perfectly. Now that they're all highlighted, I'm going to come up here and go Weld with this button here. Okay, and there's a divider. So you can see how quick and easy that is. Now you could play around with all sorts of different borders here doing that. Any sort of border will work, or most of them will work, and you'll be able to create this sort of edging for your dividers. Okay, I'm just going to delete that one, and I'll show you one of the other ones we did. This one used these shapes over here. So we used this one. And this one, all we did was we duplicated the shape. This one we made a little bit smaller, the second one. Okay, so to duplicate, you just highlight the first one and right click and go duplicate. So that duplicates. And then I want to duplicate this one as well. I might make them a little bit bigger, I think. This one a little bit bigger. Okay. And then I'm going to duplicate again and create a fourth one. So that just pops them all in there. You can play around with this as much as you like to get the shapes you want. Okay, I'm going to select everything by clicking in the corner here and dragging my mouse so that everything's selected. And I'm going to come up to the Weld button and click on that. And that's that there. Now I'm going to go and grab a square from over here. And I'm going to line this square up with this point. I'll just zoom in a little. I'm going to line it up with this point right here. So I want this point to match that pretty much, and then this one to come down and hit about there. That's fine. Again, you'll play around with this. I mean, I'm just quickly going through this, but you can play around and get this perfect and lined up and nicely done, because I think the way I've done it, it may not be perfect, but this just gives you the general idea. Okay, now this one's highlighted. This one I need to get highlighted as well, so I'm going to press the shift key and click it. So they're both highlighted. I'm going to come up here to subtract. Click on that, and you see how mine's not perfect here. I've got this line and these bumps here, but that gives you a basic idea on how to create that sort of divider shape.
So this is our almost finished journal. I say almost because you can add to these anytime you like. Now we've put some holes in using a 1-hole punch. So measure them equal distance down the side, and we've used the rings. You can use ribbon or rope, whatever it is that takes your fancy. So here we go, we've made some of these pages so they sit at the bottom of the journal. And just a few fancy pages. We have one of our envelopes which I've started to embellish. And these ones sit at the top. And there's a divider. Again, you can do whatever you like with this. These are pages just for you to write on. There's another little envelope to put some tickets and things in. Divider. And because these rings open, you can add as many pages as you like as you go. But that's your basic journal, and it'll get you going.